Hey guys, so I just finished renewing my destination Thailand visa for an extra 180 days. I finished that today, so I wanted to go ahead and share everything that I went through, as well as everything that you'll probably need. This way, you have a pretty good idea of what you'll need to bring and also what to expect. So, the first thing that caught me off guard was that there actually is a dress code for the immigration office. So, I like to wear like just a black tank top because this is just super comfortable for me. And I thought it was just going to be a quick in and out situation, but that was not the case. So, first thing they notified me was that I was actually not allowed to wear a tank top. So, you actually have to dress relatively semi formal. I guess this is kind of a clash between like American culture and like Thai culture. But yeah, you do have to dress relatively respectfully. So, yeah, something like this where you have some level of a shirt and long pants. So, that's like first thing. Next thing is that everything is done on paper, which means that everything that you'll basically need to photocopy it again for the office to have a copy as well. So just expect that nothing is going to be digital. It's all basically going to be paper, which means you're going to need a lot of photocopies. Of course, before you even decide to do this, if you don't really want to go through the trouble of doing the paperwork, of course, if you have the DTV, you always have the option to just go ahead and fly out of the country and come back and just do a round trip. But that does cost usually 2 or 3 times as much, and usually, yeah, you do need to fly, so you do need to do that. So this is kind of the cheaper option, but might also take a little bit more time. But it didn't take as much time as I expected. I thought it was going to take maybe 3 or 4 trips, but it did take 2 different trips. Where the first trip, there were a lot of things I got wrong, and then I had to go back and finish another checklist, and then I had to go ahead and do it. Okay, so easy things first. So first thing you do need is 1900 Thai baht. So you're going to need to bring that. That way you can actually pay for the extension of the visa. And also you're going to need your original passport and a photocopy of the passport. So when I say photocopy of the passport, it's not just the front page, which is kind of like the usual for when you're photocopying the passport, but you're also going to need, well, they said they're going to need every single page of the passport, but that wasn't really the case. But you do need some of the visa pages, like dating back to at least around 2 years. And of course, you also need a passport photo. So you're going to need those, you're going to need to get your picture taken somewhere, and then you're going to need to bring that with you. That way they can glue it onto the extension form. So you're going to need that as well. I also needed a photocopy of my lease. So that way I can prove that I am staying in this area. And of course, because you are extending your DTV, and I thought maybe they have my DTV in the system or something, but no, you do need a photocopy of your DTV as well. Okay, and now to the harder part, which is your financial situation. So you're going to need to prove that. So the first things first, you're going to need a bank statement that's dating back at least 1 month. I did 3 months just to be safe, but yeah, dating back at least 1 month. That's proving that you have 500,000 baht, or in US dollars, around over $15,000 in capital that has stayed in the bank account, and they know that it's there for the last 1 to 3 months. And you also need to prove your work status. So this depends on your work situation, of course, but for me personally, I am a freelance private online tutor. So then I had to also show invoices for the past 3 months for my clients. That way, they can see that if they look at my bank account and the invoices, the income matches the dates. And now there was one thing that I thought was like really silly, but it was actually necessary, which was very surprising for me, which was that I had to take a lot of pictures to kind of prove that I was working even despite the financial statements. So that was, for example, I had to take a picture in front of my condo, and I had to take a picture of like the co-working space in my condo. And I took a picture next to the pool just to be safe, just to show, hey, I'm actually in this condo. And I also took a picture next to the door just to show that I have access to this room. Um, and I had to take a picture of my workstation. So I had to show how my room is set up at home, which I thought was kind of strange. And also, I had to take a picture of the laptop, I guess, which is part of the workstation. So I had to take a picture of the literal laptop. And I also had to take a picture of me on the laptop working, making money, because I guess they needed that for proof. And yes, this is like I asked them because I thought it was kind of silly. I was like, so you want me to literally be on like my hands on the laptop and take a picture like that, just to like a selfie with my laptop and me? And they responded yes, literally. So so I did that. So I took a picture of myself on my laptop, just working presumably. So yeah, there was that. Also, just to support that I was actually working here, I also took some screenshots of my Google Calendar and took a picture of my tutoring website where I advertise my tutoring. One other part that they needed from me, which I thought was very interesting, was that even though I showed them like the screenshots of the website along with like the link, I guess maybe they didn't want to check the website, like maybe on their phone, maybe the link was too long or something. But so they were like saying that they needed the registration of the website that shows that I'm the owner of the website, which I thought was very weird because I'm the only one on the website. Like literally, it's just me on my face. Um, so I thought that was kind of strange. I was like, what's the alternative? Is that like someone else owns the website and is impersonating me as the website, and I'm bringing this as evidence? I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah. So I needed the registration of the website itself. I think it might have been because other people might have like a registration of like the business, but I was like, oh, like no, I don't have like a LLC or anything. So then they were like, okay, like we need to see some kind of registration. So maybe that's why they needed to show, they needed proof that I was the owner of the website. And another thing they required of me, which I thought was kind of interesting, was that they needed to see how I spend money in Thailand. And so then I had to take a photocopy of my debit card that I use that like automatically converts US dollars to like Thai banks. And then I needed to write like I use this card for Thailand like purposes, and like here's the date and the signature. And it was just like my like my debit card information. Yeah, so I needed to do that. That was required of me. Also, one thing is that even though I had a copy of the TM30, which kind of proves my residency, and having the condo owner like submit this form for me and all this, they also required the landowner to submit a title deed onto the online form, which means that I needed to contact my landlord and have them submit a picture of the title deed itself before also coming back as well. And for filling out the forms, that also was a lot more than expected, which was that I was only expecting to fill out maybe one or two forms, but I actually ended up filling out like roughly like five different forms. So if you walk in and they give you like two forms, which initially was what happened to me, then there might be a chance that you might go to the front and then they say, oh, like you actually need like five forms to fill out. So then where are the other three? And then you're going to need to go back to the information desk, grab the other three. So this might be something that you might need to expect. Okay, yeah, so that was a long list, but that was everything that I needed to finally successfully extend my DTV visa by 180 days. And you can only do this once, and afterwards, you have to do a fly out, fly back in, anyways. So, yeah, I just thought I would try it, and honestly, it was not too bad of an experience. I thought a lot of the photos and like photocopies that they had me make was a little bit silly, but at the same time they had the photocopier like right outside of the office, so it wasn't really too bad, and it only took two different trips and then it was fine. I'll also go ahead and put the entire list of everything that I listed in this video down below. That way you have a good checklist. If you enjoyed this video, then please go ahead and support me on Patreon, as I would like to go ahead and do this full time. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see ya.
Backward on the mind and Yostafani's locked and loaded, ready to blow. He goes, explodes, he's highly potent. Age-old inquisition and the cause of lunacy. Who and where and what she'll do if you just hit the lottery. Take my breath, shake, stop my busted heart that just stopped. Articulate the grief of vanities that I can concoct. Quite shocked at the haters and latest, so white mad. Self-degrading, escalating, the hating, so quite sad. That ain't even the end. Drop my 7 to 10. Circumvent the whole globe and then just do it again. Found a house on the beach, stacking pounds of my meat. Comfortable couch, lounge the voucher, taking a seat. Everything I said here is hypothetical. I don't know how act and impact irrational. Lack the knack, attack, facts, track, scrutiny. All I hope for is today I'll stay true to me.